Barenbrug UK are a seed house. We operate in two key areas, so agriculture and amenity, which is sort of sports and leisure, racecourses, football stadiums, that sort of thing. We have our own varieties of seed that we contract into the ground, so we grow it and we own it from the point at which we put the seed into the ground right up until the point it ends up on the doorstep of the end user, whoever that may be. And we operate primarily here in Bury St Edmunds, and we have a satellite location in Falkirk in Scotland and also in Northern Ireland. It is an undeniable fact that you have to train people to keep them now. So when we've got someone in who's great, we want to keep them. And part of that is keeping them here in the long term, is giving them a reason to stay. So from my point of view, I want to train people so that they can leave, but they choose not to. But equally, they've got to be fit for us as a business as well. So although the learning and development provision wasn't huge and it was quite reactive, coaching had always been part of the business. So there'd been someone sort of on retainer, I suppose, for 10 years. However, when they decided to go into a project position with a company that they worked with, they obviously weren't available. So then we had to start the process of looking for someone else. And it was never a question of would we, it was a case of we need somebody else. So there was always a requirement, as far as we were concerned, to have that level of support. The process for bringing Phil on was quite intense for Phil. He certainly had to jump through some hoops. So he had to have several conversations with me, several meetings with Paul. He then had an initial one-to-one session with Nicole so she could give her sort of opinion and verdict.
So Phil came in to see me and we did a session, and that session really brought home to me, actually, this is the person that I need to work with to progress my career and progress myself personally.
And then after that we were, okay, yeah, we're on board, because it's an integral part to how we operate. It's quite heavily involved with us as a business, so it had to be the right person. So he stuck with us through all of that, and yeah, we're really pleased he did.
His style was totally different to my previous coach. My previous coach was more fluffy and sugar-coated, I'd probably say. It's more structured. He holds you accountable, and not many people do that. Those first few sessions with Phil was when I really decided these are my values as a leader. He opened up my mind to what leadership actually was.
He's very supportive, very humble as well, so he's like shares his past experiences. I've been there, I've done this, and this is what I learned from it, so maybe you could learn from it. And I really like when he says that we are also a coach, so as a leader, not just a manager. I don't like the term boss. I think he's kind of directing me in that way as well, is like, you are a leader, you're not in and amongst it all the time, but you are, and you need to not take so much control and just lead the people you're working with, because again, there's a reason why you've been put in that path.
You get more benefit out of coaching with Phil for 18 months than I would have continued coaching with the previous coach probably for 3-4 years.
The outcome-driven nature of the way he operates was really the sort of key cinching factor for us. For every project that we do with Phil, with every person that goes through training with Phil, there are a set of outcomes that are in place for everything. That really is helping us drive the business forward. It's got a couple of benefits. We don't have a huge number of staff here, and the training has to be targeted, really. We're also a niche industry, so we bring people in with the technical skills. Sometimes those soft skills are lacking or not as well developed as we would like. So one-on-one really means you can focus in and dial down on those specific things that they need to help and develop with. The other side of it is having a third party who's somewhat outside of the business is particularly valuable to the executive team, to the leadership team, in having somebody to sort of hold our feet to the fire, keep us on our toes, and make sure that we aren't getting complacent.
From a management point of view, Amy's being coached by Phil at the moment, so I'm seeing it in Paul's shoes now, so Paul watched me do it. It's quite heartwarming, actually. It's like watching a caterpillar turn into a butterfly. It's like watching metamorphosis. It really is, because you're watching somebody grow from coaching. And that's so powerful.
Already in those sessions I've had, so many things have changed. Thank you, Phil.
I'm finding that I am the person that I've always aspired to be, I'm now becoming. I don't think I'd be where I am within this business now if I hadn't have had 18 months of coaching with Phil. If I left here and I went to another business, Phil would be the first person on my list, because you can see the difference within the business now. It's not the same business it was 2 years ago.
I was having this conversation a little while ago with someone about, what motivates you to do your job, what bit do you really like, and that is it for me, is seeing people reach beyond what they thought they were capable of and move beyond what the expectations and limitations they put on themselves. That's the ultimate win for me. It's been really lovely to have someone else who can help deliver that as well and shares the vision, I suppose, of helping people get beyond what they thought they could achieve.